All right, welcome everybody. I'm so excited to have you all tonight. My name is Courtney O'Donnell, and Heather O'Brien, our other National Marketing Director, waving there. Welcome you all, as well as our very special guest, Natalie Baldock, all the way from Perth, Australia. And I know, look, there's Val Gamer, and many of her teammates are on as well. Welcome all you Aussies. We're so excited to have you on with us. It's such an honor for us. We look up to you all. We follow you on social media, and we love every single ounce of your fiber and being. We really, really do. And so I'm going to quickly share the story how Heather and I met Natalie and Tracy Biggins. I don't know if Tracy's on or not, but we went to conference, and I was a senior sales coordinator. I believe, Nat, you were as well. Heather was a sales coordinator, and we were in line for the bathroom. And there was this beautiful woman, Natalie Baldock, and her beautiful best friend, Tracy Biggins, and they were in the bathroom. We just started in line, and we started having a conversation. And turns out they were just a couple of moms just like us, trying to share Juice Plus and help people get healthier. And we found a spark in the four of us, and such a commonality that we just literally fell in love with our friendships and our business, and decided that we were going to continue to inspire one another. And it's been, what, 7 years, maybe 6, 7 years, something like that, that our friendships have grown and developed, and it's pretty darn awesome. I'm so honored and excited to get to turn this over to Natalie Baldock from Perth, Australia, National Marketing Director and 100 Plus Club member. So Natalie, it's all yours, baby.
Thank you. I just love what this business does for us globally, because, you know, the four of us have been best friends for this whole time, and it doesn't matter if we have a month not talking or 3 months not talking. It's exactly the same, because the language is the same. And, you know, when you're dealing with a whole bunch of, you know, displaced servants' hearts, the connection is really strong and beautiful. But I remember being so excited. We were just like, I can't believe we met these two beautiful women in a toilet. Usually I'm drunk in a toilet sharing someone's lipstick, but not necessarily in the health arena. So this was just completely new for me. I thought I'd found two best friends forever, which we have, which is good. But, you know, just quickly, for those of you who are brand new, I'll share my story really quickly, because I think, you know, without the story, it's hard to understand where someone's come from. But, and I've got my beautiful NMD and gorgeous friend Val on the call, and she's so amazing. I love her. She gets on every call. She's such a vacuum for information, and she sucks everything in, and she's growing so much. And she's just come back from Tony Robbins. But, you know, the reason why I did this is because, you know, when I first started, somebody saw something in me that I didn't see in myself. You know, I was never this confident, strong, powerful woman. I was just newly a mum, really nervous, filled with anxiety, looking for something, but didn't really know I was looking for something. And Bronwyn came to me and just sort of tried to help me with my health. She didn't even mention business. And I couldn't afford the product. And she made me see that I needed to. So I took it, and 3 months later, I started to feel completely calm. And it came because I had a husband that worked away, or a partner that worked away 3 weeks and was home for 1 week. And I was a new mummy with a new baby in a very small apartment. And I just, honestly, my only joy was a latte every day, walking the pusher up to the shopping centre, walking laps around and getting a latte and coming home. That was my fun for the day. And I thought, shit, I used to be someone. And there was this really strong feeling of, I didn't sign up for this. I can't believe no one told me that this was motherhood. And it was a really desperate place that I was in. We also had a lot of debt. We were struggling to pay our mortgage. We were struggling to pay our bills. And, you know, I was choosing nappies and formula, well, sort of, nappies and formula over really good quality food. So I got this product, started taking it, started feeling better. Now, I have to be quite honest here. I think Bronwyn even paid for the product for me, because I really couldn't afford it. But she saw something in me. Now, I would never recommend you do that to anyone, but I guess Bronwyn just, you know, she bought that lottery ticket and she actually won. So she's lucky that she made that judgment. But a couple of months later, I started naturally sharing it with lots of people, and Bronwyn offered me the business. And I was like, nope. I think she offered the business to me 5, 6, 7 times. And I was like, nope, I'm happy to give you all the customers. And then she talked to me about the Children's Health Study. Now, the Children's Health Study just completely changed and shifted me forever. At the time, there was 545,000 children in 5 countries on the product. Now, at the time, I was calculating what the product cost per month times 545,000 children, and it worked out to be $17 million a month that the company was donating to children's health. Now, I'll tell you why this was so important to me. I've been working my own business for quite a few years prior to being a mummy, and I was raising money for Princess Margaret Hospital Foundation, for cancer research, trying to prevent cancer in children, but working in sick care and not working in prevention, and I didn't get it. And I raised over $100,000 a year for these hospitals, and I hand over my check and children still had cancer. No pain intervention rooms were developed in hospitals. The money was given to the charity, and they paid for admin, they paid for marketing, and none of the money actually went to anything that I physically saw that could change the lives of anyone. And I was brokenhearted. So I left that career, went up to Broome, met Dan, had a baby, and was completely lost. $17 million a month the Juice Plus company was gifting to children to prevent disease. And I just broke down and started crying, and that was the reason why I signed into the business. Now, 1.1 million children is $500 million a year that we donate to children. That makes it probably the largest preventative children's foundation in the world. Now, I can't make that claim because I'm not running numbers, but $500 million gifted to children, this is phenomenal. So I am so proud to be a part of this. So the reason why I do this is because we are giving back. Not only do we become a servant's heart, not only do we learn how to journey from head to heart, not only in this business do we learn how to love ourselves completely, wholly and unconditionally, because that is what Juice Plus is about. You know, if you get that now, you will absolutely love this journey, because as you go up the levels, you learn to love yourself in a different way. You learn to love others in a different way. You learn to unconditionally love people, and you learn that this is a family, and sometimes families have ups and downs, but you learn how to love at the highest level. So here I am now, 8.5 years later. Started the product 8.5 years ago, started the business about 7.5 years ago, and we're very lucky. My amazing team is 100 Club, and you know, they're all doing an amazing job. Beautiful Val, who's on the call tonight, she's 50 Club, soaring towards 100 Club with her amazing husband, Sonny Gamer. And you know, if I hadn't have said yes, she wouldn't even know about this. Well, she might, but she wouldn't be in my team. I might not be here. So, you know, I'm just glad that Bronwyn saw something in me. And, you know, I'm glad that someone saw something in Val, someone saw something in Tracy. And so, you know, so we are, you know, 8, 9 NMDs. We've got 4 Qs in our team, and we're hoping to double that NMD, you know, group for June 2018, because our conference is going to be held at the Perth Crown Casino next year, and that's my hometown. So we're really excited. And I really want to invite you all to come to that, because it's like a Tony Robbins concert. It's like a rock concert on heat. And last conference we had around 1,750 people. And this year we're expecting probably just over 2,000. So we're getting bigger and bigger. We're actually growing at a very rapid rate here in Australia. So it's super exciting, and the teams are doing a brilliant, brilliant job. And I think it's because 2 reasons. Here in Australia, we've hit the global financial crisis wave has hit. And, you know, there's a lot of people foreclosing on their homes. There's a lot of things going on. So people are needing an opportunity to make a side hustle. They're needing an extra $500, an extra $1,000 a month. And I think it's also, too, that sickness is on the rise because medications are being splayed everywhere and food quality is not the same. And if you know anything about Australia, most of it's a big desert. So we don't grow the best quality fruit and veg here, even though everybody thinks Australia is healthy. Per capita, we are the most obese country in the world. So per capita. And everyone thinks it's the USA, but you might have a lot of obese people and a lot of unwell people. We have a lot of unwell people per capita. And so this is a growing problem here. And the reason why Val and myself, we talk about the opportunity as strong as we do the product is because we believe that it's not up to us to decide what somebody wants to do when they enter into a program or a commitment with Juice Plus. So we were very fortunate last night to have Michelle Ball on our call, and she was teaching us why they talk about product and business at the same time as soon as someone commits to, I want the product. And I love this, and we've been teaching this now for a couple of weeks. And naturally, some of us have been doing this for a long time, but we haven't really been effectively communicating it or teaching it. And I think this is the secret to fast growth. And this is what's happening in so many places where there's a lot of fast growth. So Michelle Ball was saying last night, she's got her verbiage and I've got my own, but I think what I can do is really just tell you from my heart what works for me and give you my scripts. And you guys can manage those or change them, do whatever you want with them. And maybe one of the leaders could actually have a call with Michelle Ball and get her side of it as well. But what she said to us last night is that when someone shows interest in the product and she gets them to an event, when she sits down with them after, she sort of gives them three options. And she says, look, you can either you can actually pay full price for your product, or you can have your price at a discount, or you can have your product, paid for. And what she means by that is preferred customer, DD, or SDD. And so it's a great way to show them. They go, oh, and then they ask more questions and you can go into more detail. We took it one step further, and I've written a script and I'll share it with you now. I've written this. When the relationship has been made and it's time to ask for the sale, you can offer both product and business opportunity like this. Hi, Barbara. When we order your product, there are 3 ways to enter our Juice Plus program. The first is that you can be a customer and pay full price for your product. The second is that you can be a franchise partner and receive a discount on your product. And if you refer the product to others, you will receive an ongoing commission to further reduce the cost of your personal product. And lastly, you can be an active franchise partner and create a monthly residual income from the products referred. The income potential could be anything from a few $100s to a few $1,000s each month. Which would you like to know more about? So Michelle does it really quick and simply. And I love that, because that's going to be good for people that are nervous about running a big script. And if you want the full script, then I can also give that to you. But for me, I find it really easy now to share all 3, because what happens if somebody can't afford fruit, veg, and berry blend, and they just go for the fruit and veg blend? But if you could actually organize fruit, veg, and berry blend for them, but they could actually have a discount on their product. It's really important to understand that you don't know if somebody actually needs the business. You don't know if somebody needs a discount. You don't know if somebody needs health. You don't know if somebody needs a community, because you haven't asked. And so it's important to give them the options so they can decide for themselves. And I remember about 5 years ago, one of my distributors, Deanna White, she's not in the business anymore, but she gave me the greatest gift ever. And it actually made me very passionate. We were sitting with a table of 8 people. And one girl said, oh, I just haven't offered the product to my girlfriends because I know they're going to think it's too expensive. And she stood up, chest puffed out. She was a really strong, powerful woman. She's actually a radio announcer. And she said, excuse me, how dare you decide whether somebody needs health or not? What happens if that person's going to be sick next week? What happens if that person needs money next week? And I was like, whoa, that was powerful, right? And in that moment, it made me realize that we must ask everybody every time we share the product, that we want to ask them if they want the product, if they want a discount, if they want to build a residual income, or if they want a big business. We need to ask them that. It's only fair. And I think for so long, this company has wanted us to be very product focused, and we are product focused. But what happens if somebody is product focused for 5 years, 6 years, and they just have the product, but all along they needed family, friends, the business? And what happens if their health issues was because they were lonely? What happens if their health issues were because they were they were lacking wealth? And then they go off the product because they say the product doesn't work because the stress is too high in their life. So you never know what gift you could give somebody. Now, step one, let me give you some tips on what you can do today to change all of this. So if I give you the scripts, which I will, and Courtney emails those out to everybody, what happens if you went through your existing customer base and simply said, hey, Barbara, it's Natalie. I haven't spoken to you for a couple of weeks, but I thought it was time to maybe have a discussion with you around an amazing opportunity that our business and company offers. It may not be for you. It may be for someone else that you know, but this is what we have. We have an opportunity to franchise partner with us and actually reduce the cost of your product, or bring in a little bit of extra residual income into the family home. I don't know if you're interested, but would you love me to come to your house for a cup of tea one day and just explain to you what we do? Because I just thought of you and thought you would be amazing. And imagine if you went through your 20 customers or your 15 customers or your 5 customers and you picked up 1 to 3 franchisees in the next month, what that would do for your entire organization. And this is where we have to get very vulnerable. How many people have never done that? Like, sit with that for a second. If you haven't done that, then you need to get past yourself, over yourself, and reach into that network and ask not only if they would like the business, but ask if they know someone who would like the business. And I love what John Holowati says. He says, he'll go up to a friend who's got someone who's super social, and he'll say, hey, Tom, you're an amazing guy. You got tons of friends. Do you know anyone right now that needs $500 to $2,000 worth of income extra per month? And that person that he's talking to will go, well, I do. And I love that. It's very clever, because you're not actually directly asking him if he wants to join the business. You're actually asking him if he has any referrals. But 9 times out of 10, somebody turns around when you're talking to them and they say, well, I would, So there's all these amazing things you can do to grow your business. Now, I don't know if that makes sense to you all, and I hope that it does. It's a really simple thing, but there's a shift, right? I remember making multiple shifts in this business. I'm going to talk about a couple of shifts that I've made over time, and these are part of my growth. The first shift was when I was an SSC, Danny Martin said to me, are you an NMD? And I said, no, I'm an SSC. And he said, are you an NMD? And I went, is this a trick question? And then he said, I'm going to ask you again, are you an NMD? And I said, oh, I get it. Yes, I am an NMD. Go start acting like one, start dressing like one, start behaving like one, start feeling like one. And I was like, wow. So everything shifted for me. Got my hair done, did my makeup, stopped turning up to meetings in my active wear, started to wear beautiful clothes and, not expensive clothes, but just respecting myself enough to dress in an appropriate way. And that shifted and changed everything for me. My second shift was that I started to own that the premium pack was the minimum I sell to someone. So I never, ever, ever started with just the fruit and veg. This increased my business by 33%, right? And we're talking business and numbers. So I would always talk fruit, veg, and berry. Now, if anyone ever balked at the price, I would move backwards to fruit and veg. But I would never, ever start with fruit and veg because then it's hard to actually add on all the extra income. But this is the biggest shift I've had just recently. I now say fruit, veg, berry, and omegas. And if they find that too expensive, I've moved back to fruit and veg and omegas. Or berry and omegas. But guess what? They're not saying no because I've had a shift inside myself. Now, this is what we talked about on my call the other night, is that the minimum spend in the majority of network marketing companies is around $200. Now, the fruit, veg, and berry blend plus your omegas is nowhere near $200. It's still one of the cheapest spends ever. So now you have another opportunity to go back to your customers and share omegas, or start with every customer fruit, veg, berry blend, and omegas, and shift your thinking. Remember that gift of nervous health with the fats and immune health with the capsules is profound. Then if you want to add on gut health, digestive health, you add on the complete. Why not even push yourself and share fruit, veg, berry blend plus the omegas plus a trial pack of complete for them to try and just watch what happens, but also share with them that the premium product is the fruit, veg, and berry blend. And if they were ever going to shift or cancel anything, it's best to cancel the complete, never the capsules, because the capsules are too easy, too convenient, and the most simplest way to have fruits and vegetables in the system instantly. So I thought I would leave it there. That's kind of like some of the tips and tricks of things that you can do today. Shift your thinking, start acting like an NMD, add on that omega to every customer, go and talk about the business opportunity to every single customer, and that's in your immediate closed circle now. You don't even have to go out and find anybody today. Today could be a home office day, just speaking to everybody. So should we stop the recording and answer questions, or do you want to keep recording with the questions?
I'm going to stop the recording and then we'll get questions. So thanks for joining us. Hang on, everybody.